शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कारचित्तानि नाहं मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कारचित्तानि नाहं न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमिर्न तेजो न वायु न च व्योमभूमिर्न तेजो न वायु चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् न च प्राणसंज्ञो न वै पञ्चवायु न च प्राणसंज्ञो न वै पञ्चवायु न वा सप्तधातुर्न वा पञ्चकोश न वा सप्तधातुर्न वा पञ्चकोश न वाक्पाणिपादं न चोपस्थपायु न वाक्पाणिपादं न चोपस्थपायु चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहौ न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहौ मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभाव मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभाव न धर्मो न चार्तो न कामो न मोक्ष न धर्मो न चार्तो न कामो न मोक्ष चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञा न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञा अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् न मे मृत्युर्न शङ्का न मे जातिभेद न मे मृत्युर्न शङ्का न मे जातिभेद पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्य न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्य चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपो अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपो विभुत्वाच्च सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां विभुत्वाच्च सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां सदा मे समत्वं न मुक्तिर्न बन्धः सदा मे समत्वं न मुक्तिर्न बन्धः चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम्
नाम तुझे बरवेगा शंकरा 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 नाम तुझे बरवेगा शंकरा
Jai Shri Mataji. Let's start the meditation with a collective namaskar. Collective global namaskar. And let's collectively raise our Kundalini. Namaskar Kundalini.
नाम तुझे बरवेगा शंकरा नाम तुझे बरवेगा शंकरा हर हर बरवेगा देवा हर हर बरवेगा देवा हर हर बरवेगा देवा शंकरा 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 नाम तुझे बरवेगा 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 शंकरा हर हर बरवेगा देवा हर हर बरवेगा parvega deva, har har 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 parvega deva. Shankara Shankara Shankara, naam tujhe parvega Shankara, naam tujhe parvega Shankara, naam tujhe parvega Shankara,
नाम तुझे बरवेगा शंकरा, नाम
हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव, हर हर शंकर, हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव, हर हर शंकर, हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव, हर हर शंकर, हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव, हर हर शंकर, हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव, हर हर शंकर.
हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव, हर हर शंकर, हर हर शंकर सांब सदा.
I've covered 3 centers as you have seen, the Muladhara chakra, the Swadhisthana and the Nabhi chakra, and others I'll cover later on tomorrow, but I must talk about the spirit about which we are talking for ages now, that we have to become the spirit. Now English language, as you know, spirit can be anything. It's a very ambiguous word. Even to alcohols we call it spirits, even to the dead souls we call them spirits, and even to the spirit, that is BR, the pure being, which is called as Atma in Sanskrit language, we call the word spirit. Here I am saying, talking about that spirit, which is the pure being within you, which is a detached being within you, which is the witness within you, which sees you all the time, which watches you, which resides within you as joy and happiness in the heart. It resides in the heart. This spirit is not in our conscious mind, is not in our central nervous system, is not under our control. To give it an analogy, I say that the left side within us is like the brake, and the right side is like an accelerator in a car. Now in the car, we are learning driving, sitting in the front seat, and there is the master watching at the back and seeing the whole play. Now what you do is to go to the left, means sometimes you put the brake, sometimes you put the accelerator, make mistakes, and then you learn how to drive. That learning how to drive is the wisdom part of it, which comes to us through balancing our lives. Balance is the most important thing to begin with. But even if you don't have balance, I have seen in Sahaja very imbalanced people get into the balance. Now this balancing, left and right, or say of the brake and the accelerator, gives you a position where you can say, now you have mastered the driving. But still there is the master sitting at the back. Then you become the master. The master is the spirit within you. You become the spirit and you start watching yourself as a driver. The whole thing becomes like a play, like a drama. That you separate yourself and start seeing everything happening before your eyes. Everything happening just like a drama outside you. And you are not the part and parcel of it. So you enter into the area of your axis and the periphery loses its impact on you. You become a person who is silent, blissful, quiet, and sees the periphery, the movement of the periphery, but you are not in it. That's how you become the master. That's how you become the prophet. But Sahaja Yoga today has a power to make the prophets out of the men of God, and these prophets will have power to make others prophet. So says William Blake, the great poet of this country. And that's exactly what Sahaja Yoga is. He predicted it 100 years back, and today if you come to Sahaja Yoga, you will be amazed what you are. Whatever he has predicted about England being the Jerusalem of tomorrow, that tomorrow is today. This country of yours, England, which is so far, I don't know if people understand or aware of what this country is, which is the heart of the universe, which is the most important part of the universe, has to become the Jerusalem. For that, the Englishmen have to come out of their inertia to see what are their potentials, to rise up to that point, and that's going to work out. It's already working very well in London. Of course, we can't have too many people because plastics can be produced in the machines in thousands. But if you have to have something living, it takes time. But once it takes time, once it comes to its maturity, I'm sure this great country is going to assume that status of becoming Jerusalem, the place of worship, where people have to come to worship. It's very surprising. Things are happening with Sahaja Yoga. The flower daisy, which never had any fragrance, if you go and see now, is having fragrance. Most of the English flowers had no fragrance. They were known by that. Most of the flowers are now having tremendous fragrance. You can see for yourself. All these things are working by nature, are worked out, they are coming. What about human beings? Where are they? What are they doing? Where are they lost? This is a very sad thing. I came to London just by chance, I should say, or maybe that is prearranged. My husband got elected to this job, and he had to come. And this agency of the UN is only placed here. It's in England. It's nowhere else. You have only one agency of the UN. That is in England, for which my husband got elected, and so I'm here. Otherwise, I don't think I could have come here like a guru, because I don't have any other interest but this. And I could not have come here otherwise, because uninvited I would not come to a country. But I came here as an invited person. It's all working out. Only you people have to work it out yourself and understand not only the dynamism, the vitality, but the greatest importance is that at this point you are standing on the verge of destruction or construction. And the English people have a special place. They have to rise up to it because they are the cells of the heart. I'll have this lecture tomorrow again. I hope you'll come and make it comfortable. Sorry for my throat. I've been speaking day in and day out every day. Thank you. I bow to all the seekers of spirit. The seeking of spirit has been described by so many people from ancient time. It is nothing new that I am telling you, that a human awareness reaches a point where it starts seeing that there has to be something beyond. And at that time the seeking starts and a person starts looking forward to something that will make that person the spirit. As all the scriptures have described and talked about it, there is no amount of talking is going to improve on that, because spirit is within us. It resides within us in our heart. Now, as it is, you must have heard many people talking about it, that you have to be spirit, that you have to get your self-realization, you have to have self-knowledge, you have to know yourself. But in Sahaja Yoga today, what one has to do is to establish that, to actualize that, to make it an experience of your own. And this is a very big gift, I think a very unique discovery that has come to us, that we can actualize it. Now we have to understand one simple thing, that when the spirit manifests within us, what should happen on the very gross level, what should happen? Firstly, it must be invigorating. Means you must get more energy in the body, you must feel physically better. By going to any process or any method or any experience, if health-wise, if you cannot improve, then must know that it is not the spirit. Because spirit is complete health, or it never gets sick. That is what spirit is. So first thing that should happen to you is that it should be an invigorating life, a very dynamic life. The second thing that should happen to you is that you become a very peaceful and a relaxed personality, not like the ones who were agitated and were angry and shouting. There is nothing to shout and get angry. It's a kind of a fear these people have, perhaps, that if the truth they face or if the reality that comes, they will have no place in this world. That might be one of the reasons which makes them agitated. A person like Christ, about whom people talk and think that Christ is in their pocket, must know that first and foremost thing, the greatness of Christ was that he used a weapon of forgiveness. He was such a peaceful person, and the cross also, that he said that forgive those who are doing this, O Father, because they do not know what they are doing. That kind of a personality, you can say, is a spiritual personality, and not a person who gets agitated and hot-tempered and starts shouting at people. The time today is extremely precarious, which we do not realize. For example, if you ask these people, if Christ comes and stands here, how will they recognize Christ? Is there any way of recognizing Christ? They might be the ones who crucified Christ because they did not recognize at that time. How will they recognize Christ? Is a very simple question which we never try to answer. There's no way to understand how we are going to recognize Christ. A very, very simple question has no answer, because you cannot. You cannot recognize him, because your awareness cannot make you understand. Like somebody told me that there's somebody who claims that he's Christ. I said, all right, ask him to walk on the water. If he can walk on the water, then think that he's Christ. That's one of the qualities of Christ. Now, whatever is the quality of a particular advent is to be seen in that advent. Every advent has a particular quality which is being already described in the ancient books. You should not accept anybody because he says, I'm this and I'm that. This is the problem with us, that we get ourselves wedded to some sort of a mental conception, live with it. Our forefathers live with it, their forefathers have lived with it, and ultimately we find there's nothing left. So one has to know that when you, at least when you say that you believe in Christ, how will you recognize if Christ comes in? Is there any method? Is there any sure method that will tell you that he is Christ? There is. If you become the spirit, you have vibrations. You feel the cool breeze. You have a new awareness, a vibratory awareness. The fifth dimension within you rises into that point, by which, when you ask, is this Christ? The vibrations will flow tremendously. You will know this is Christ. If he is a fake person, you might even get blisters in your hand. You might even get terrible heat from such a person. But if it is Christ, you will get tremendous breeze in your hand. This is the sign how to make out whether he is Christ or not. That's why he said that you will be calling me Christ, Christ, I won't recognize you. Neither you will recognize him. That's a fact. You live with an idea, with a mental projection, and then you kill all your possibilities, chances of your ascent. You must keep yourself open like a scientist does. Keep yourself open. Your mind should be open. You should not close down by any dogma or any kind of such theory that makes you completely excluded from the rest of the thing, or which makes you non-reflective, which makes you a person who cannot reflect, cannot think anymore about it. Such a personality, if you develop, it is going to be very, very dangerous for you. So the personality should be open, should be receptive to understand. Now, as I told you yesterday, that it is a spontaneous happening, is the happening of the living process. It is nothing to do with artificial things. Of course, when the churches were established, they tried to do good to people, in the sense they told them that you be in the balance, you keep to the balance and all that. But it went too far with certain things like baptism, I think, that where everybody started putting their hands on top of anyone and said that you are baptized. That's not proper. What we call anadhikar cheshta, means it is unauthorized. To baptize someone is not the authority that you can get from any school, colleges, but you have to get it from God. If you are a realized soul, then you can baptize others. Everybody cannot baptize everyone. Even I don't think Christ's disciples baptized anyone. They did not. It is later on, I don't know how it crawled into the organization, that you could ask somebody to go and baptize someone. William Blake has clearly said that the priest cursed me on my head and I cried and wept. Actually, that person who has to baptize has to be a realized soul, because baptism means awakening of the Kundalini and breaking up this spontaneous bone area open to the subtle. And that you cannot do it, so you better not do it. You are unauthorized. In all humbleness and humility, one must understand that that is not your job. Say, for example, I do not know anything about the machinery or about the car. I start driving. What will happen? That same thing happens with people who do not have the authority to do God's work, start doing God's work. They land everyone into difficulties and ultimately they neutralize themselves. It is high time for all of them now to see that what they have to do through all these institutions is no dogma, nothing like that, but what you have to do is to transform people through their Kundalini awakening, through their real baptism. This is what people have realized, that there's something wrong somewhere, that we are not connected to the base. When it happens, the first thing that happens to you, that you become collectively conscious, as Warren has told. This collectively consciousness is nothing but that your attention itself, your attention, which is felt on the central nervous system, gets enlightened. In the sense that, as like ether, when you touch ether, you can communicate anything from here to every place. In the same way, when you touch that all-pervading power, you can communicate through that power anywhere sitting down here. It is collectively conscious. Moreover, collectively conscious means that you can feel a person, whether he is the person, he is all right, or he has a problem, or his Kundalini is in this part of the body, or if he has got some disease, you can feel also about yourself. That's the sign.
Sahaja, Shri Adishakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's collectively sit very comfortably, truly open our hands, our heart, and our awareness to the divine above Sasvara. let's sit in a very straight way in order to allow Mother Kundalini to flow upward without obstacle, without posture obstacles in us. Let's feel our Sahasrara and the energy above Sahasrara. Let's have both hands opened and offered to the Devi and our heart totally open. Let's collectively feel the spirit in our heart. We need to feel the complete presence of the spirit. This sun of light, which is made of billions and billions of light, of billions and billions of suns in one, which is shining through our being and spreading unconditional love, complete compassion, complete forgiveness, and the complete powers of God. Let's be that clean glass, allowing the spirit to shine through us. A perfect diamond, allowing the spirit to shine and sparkle from within. Shri Ganesh mantra, focus on the Lord Ganesh. Our attention must be collective. Are we one above Sahasrara? Where is our attention? Let's truly actualize and combine our attention so that we really feel that we are the spirit and we really feel that we are one above Sahasrara. Shri Ganesh mantra collectively. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's completely open and surrender to the Lord Ganesh.
नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षम् तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलम् कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलम् धर्तासि
त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चातात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरातात् अवदक्षिणातात् अवचोर्ध्वातात् अवाधरातात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वं आनन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं वैलयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं वै प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो नियो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यम् त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यम् त्वं ब्रह्मा त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वम् इन्द्रस्त्वम् अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरो गणादि पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादि तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारः कर्तरः अर्धेन्दुलसितम् तारेण रुद्रम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपम् गकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारः शान्त्यरूपम् बिन्दुरुत्तर रूपम् नादः सन्धानम् संहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः निश्चिद्गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तम् चतुर्हस्तम् पाशमङ्कुशधारिणम् हृदं च वरदम् हस्ते बिभ्राणम् मूषकध्वजम् रक्तम् लम्बोदरम् शूर्पकर्णकम् रक्तवाससम् रक्तगन्धानुयुक्ताङ्गम् रक्तपुष्पै सुपूजितम् भक्तानुकम्पिनम् देवम् जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतम् च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एवम् ध्यायति यो नित्यम् स योगी योगिनाम् वरः नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः।
Where is our attention? Are we truly surrendered to the Lord Ganesh? Are we collectively aware? Are we the spirit? Is there any ego or superego left in us? Any reaction? Let's completely surrender ego, superego, and any reaction. Completely surrender the mind, the three channels, all the chakras, all our being, all our auras, all our collectivity meditating, all the collectivities of yogis of the world, the whole humanity, the whole planet, the whole creation. We surrender everything. We don't do anything. Let's just surrender completely. And become pure witness. Shri Adi Kundalini Mata. Om Tvameva Sakshat. Shri Adi Kundalini Mata Sakshat. Shri Adi Shakti Mataji. Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Shri Shiva Parvati Mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat. Shri Shiva Parvati Sakshat. Shri Adi Shakti Mataji. Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Complete surrender to the Lord Shiva. Let's collectively be one as his lotus feet.
श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ अस्य श्री शिवकवचस्तोत्रमन्त्रस्य ब्रह्मा ऋषिः अनुष्टुप् छन्दः श्री सदाशिवरुद्रो देवता ह्रीं शक्तिः रं कीलकं श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं बीजं श्री सदाशिवप्रीत्यर्थे शिवकवचस्तोत्रजपे विनियोगः करन्यासः ॐ नमो भगवते ज्वलज्ज्वालामालिने ॐ ह्रां सर्वशक्तिधाम्ने ईशानात्मने अङ्गुष्ठाभ्यां नमः ॐ नमो भगवते ज्वलज्ज्वालामालिने ॐ नं ह्रीं नित्यतृप्तिधाम्ने तत्पुरुषात्मने तर्जनीभ्यां नमः ॐ नमो भगवते ज्वलज्ज्वालामालिने ॐ मं रूं अनादिशक्तिधाम्ने अघोरात्मने मध्यमाभ्यां नमः ॐ नमो भगवते ज्वलज्ज्वालामालिने ॐ श्रीं रैं स्वतन्त्रशक्तिधाम्ने वामदेवात्मने अनामिकाभ्यां नमः ॐ नमो भगवते ज्वलज्ज्वालामालिने ॐ वां रौं अलुप्तशक्तिधाम्ने सद्योजातात्मने कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः ॐ नमो भगवते ज्वलज्ज्वालामालिने ॐ यं रः अनादिशक्तिधाम्ने सर्वात्मने करतलकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः अथ ध्यानं वज्रदंष्ट्रं त्रिनयनं कालकण्ठमरिन्दमं सहस्रकरमत्युग्रं वन्दे शम्भुमुमापतिम् ऋषभ उवाच अथापरं सर्वपुराणगुह्यं निःशेषपापौघहरं पवित्रं जयप्रदं सर्वविपत्प्रमोचं वक्ष्यामि शैवं कवचं हितायते नमस्कृत्य महादेवं विश्वव्यापिनमीश्वरं वक्षे शिवमयं वर्म सर्वरक्षाकरं नृणां शुचौ देशे समासीनो यथावत् कल्पितासनः जितेन्द्रियो जितप्राणश्चिन्तयेच्छिवमव्ययम् हृत्पुण्डरीकां तरसन्निविष्टं स्वतेजसा व्याप्तनभोऽवकाशम् अतीन्द्रियं सूक्ष्ममनन्तताद्यं ध्यायेत्परानन्दमयं महेशम् ध्यानावधूताखिलकर्मबन्धश्चरं चितानन्दनिमग्नचेतः षडक्षरन्याससमाहितात्मा शैवेन कुर्यात् कवचेन रक्षाम् मां पातु देवोऽखिलदेवतात्मा संसारकूपे पतितं गम्भीरे तन्नाम दिव्यं वरमन्त्रमूलं धुनोतु मे सर्वमघं हृदिस्थं सर्वत्र मां रक्षतु विश्वमूर्तिर्ज्योतिर्मयानन्दघनश्चिदात्मा अणोरणीयानुरुशक्तिरेकः स ईश्वरः पातु भयादशेषात् यो भूस्वरूपेण बिर्भीतविश्वं पायात् स भूमेर्गिरिशोष्टमूर्तिः योपां स्वरूपेण नृणां करोति सञ्जीवनं सोऽवतु मां जलेभ्यः कल्पावसाने भुवनानि दग्ध्वा सर्वाणि यो नृत्यति भूरिलीलः सकालरुद्रोऽवतु मां दवाग्नेर्वात्यादिभीतेरखिलाच्चतापात् प्रदीप्तविद्युत्कनकावभासो विद्यावराभीतिकुठारपाणिः चतुर्मुखस्तत्पुरुषस्त्रिनेत्रः प्राच्यां स्थितं रक्षतु मामजस्त्रम् कुठारवेदाङ्कुशपाशशूलकपालढक्काक्षगुणान्दधानः चतुर्मुखो नीलरुचिस्त्रिनेत्रः पायादघोरो दिशि दक्षिणस्यां कुन्देन्दुशङ्खस्फटिकावभासो वेदाक्षमालावरदाभयाङ्कः त्र्यक्षश्चतुर्वक्र उरुप्रभावः सद्योऽधिजातो वस्तु मां प्रतीच्यां वराक्षमालाभयटङ्कहस्तः सरोजकिञ्जल्कसमानवर्णः त्रिलोचनश्चारुचतुर्मुखो मां पायादुदीच्यां दिशि वामदेवः वेदाभ्येष्टाङ्कुशपाशटङ्क कपालढक्काक्षकशूलपाणिः सितद्युतिः पञ्चमुखो वतान्मामीशान ऊर्ध्वं परमप्रकाशः मूर्धानमव्यान्मम चन्द्रमौलिर्भालं ममाव्यादथ भालनेत्रः नेत्रे ममाव्याद्भगनेत्रहारी नासां सदा रक्षतु विश्वनाथः पायाच्छ्रुति मे श्रुतिगीतकीर्तिः कपोलमव्यात् सततं कपाली वक्रं सदा रक्षतु पञ्चवक्रो जिह्वां सदा रक्षतु वेदजिह्वः कण्ठं गिरीशोऽवतु नीलकण्ठः पाणिः द्वयं पातु पिनाकपाणिः दोर्मूलमव्यान्मम धर्मबाहुर्वक्षस्थलं दक्षमखान्तको व्यात् मनोदरं पातु गिरीन्द्रधन्वा मध्यं ममाव्यान्मदनान्तकारी हेरम्बतातो मम पातु नाभिं पायात्कटिं धूर्जटिरीश्वरो मे ऊरुद्वयं पातु कुबेरमित्रो जानुद्वयं मे जगदीश्वरो व्यात् जङ्घायुगं पुङ्गवकेतुरव्यात् पादौ ममाव्यत् सुरवन्द्यपादः महेश्वरः पातु दिनादियामे मां मध्ययामेवतु वामदेवः त्रिलोचनः पातु तृतीययामे वृषध्वजः पातु दिनान्त्ययामे पायान्निषादौ शशिशेखरो मां गङ्गाधरो रक्षतु मां निशीथे गौरीपतिः पातु निशावसाने मृत्युञ्जयो रक्षतु कालम् अन्तःस्थितं रक्षतु शङ्करो मां स्थाणुः सदा पातु बहिस्थितं मां तदन्तरे पातु पतिः पशूनां सदाशिवो रक्षतु मां समन्तात् तिष्ठतमव्याद्भुवनैकनाथः पायाद्व्रजन्तं प्रथमाधिनाथः वेदान्तवेद्योऽवतु मां निषण्णं मामव्ययः पातु शिवशयानम् मार्गेषु मां रक्षतु नीलकण्ठः शैलादिदुर्गेषु पुरत्रयारिः अरण्यवासादिमहाप्रवासे पायान्मृगव्याध उदारशक्तिः कल्पान्तकोटोपपटुप्रकोप स्फुटाट्टहासोच्चलिताण्डकोशः घोरारिसेनरणवधुर्निवार महाभयाद्रक्षतु वीरभद्रः पत्यश्वमातङ्गघटावरूथ सहस्रलक्षायुतकोटिभीषणम् अक्षौहिणीनां शतमाततायिनां छिन्द्यान्मृडो घोरकुठारधारया निहन्तु दस्यून् प्रलयानलार्चिर्ज्वलत्त्रिशूलं त्रिपुरान्तकस्य शार्दूलसिंहर्क्षवृकादिहिंस्त्रान् सन्त्रासयत्वीशधनुः दुःस्वप्नदुःशकुनदुर्गतिदौरमनस्य दुर्भिक्षदुर्व्यसनदुस्सह दुर्यशांसि उत्पाततापविषभीतिमसद्ग्रहार्ति व्याधिंश्च नाशयतु मे जगतामधीशः ॐ नमो भगवते सदाशिवाय सकलतत्त्वात्मकाय सर्वमन्त्रस्वरूपाय सर्वयन्त्राधिष्ठिताय सर्वतन्त्रस्वरूपाय सर्वतत्त्वविदूराय ब्रह्मरुद्रावतारिणे नीलकण्ठाय पार्वतीमनोहरप्रियाय सोमसूर्याग्निलोचनाय भस्मोद्धूलितविग्रहाय महामणिमुकुटधारणाय माणिक्यभूषणाय सृष्टिस्थितिप्रलयकालरौद्रावताराय दक्षाध्वरध्वंसकाय महाकालभेदनाय मूलाधारैकनिलयाय तत्त्वातीताय गंगाधराय सर्वदेवाधिदेवाय षडाश्रयाय वेदान्तसाराय त्रिवर्गसाधनायानन्तकोटिब्रह्माण्डनायकायानन्त वासुकी तक्षक कर्कोटक शंख कुलिक पद्म महापद्मेत्यष्ट महानागकुलभूषणाय प्रणवस्वरूपाय चिदाकाशाय आकाशदिक्स्वरूपाय ग्रहनक्षत्रमालिने सकलाय कलङ्करहिताय सकललोकैककर्त्रे सकललोकैकभर्त्रे सकललोकैकसंहन्त्रे सकललोकैकगुरवे सकललोकैकसाक्षिणे सकलनिगमगुह्याय सकलवेदान्तपारगाय सकललोकैकवरप्रदाय सकललोकैकशङ्कराय शशाङ्कशेखराय शाश्वतनिजावासाय निराभासाय निरामयाय निर्मलाय निर्लोभाय निर्मदाय निश्चिन्ताय निरहङ्काराय निरङ्कुशाय निष्कलङ्काय निर्गुणाय निष्कामाय निरुपप्लवाय निरवध्याय निरन्तराय निष्कारणाय निरन्तकाय निष्प्रपञ्चाय निस्सङ्गाय निर्द्वन्द्वाय निराधाराय निरागाय निष्क्रोधाय निर्मलाय निष्पापाय निर्भयाय निर्विकल्पाय निर्भेदाय निष्क्रियाय निस्तुलाय निस्संशयाय निरञ्जयाय निरुपमविभवाय नित्यशुद्धबुद्धपरिपूर्ण सच्चिदानन्दाद्वयाय परमशान्तस्वरूपाय तेजोरूपाय तेजोमयाय जय जय रुद्र महारौद्र भद्रावतार महाभैरव कालभैरव कल्पान्तभैरव कपालमालाधर खट्वांग खड्ग चर्म पाशांकुशडमरु शूल चाप बाण गदा शक्ति भिंदी पाल तोमर मुसल मुद्गर पाश परिघ भुषुंडी शतग्नि चक्राद्यायुध भीषण कर सहस्र मुख दंष्ट्रा कराल वदन विकटाट्टहास विस्फारित ब्रह्मांड मंडल नागेन्द्र कुंडल नागेन्द्र हार नागेन्द्र वलय नागेन्द्र चर्मधर मृत्युंजय त्र्यंबक पुरांतक विश्वरूप विरूपाक्ष विश्वेश्वर वृषभवाहन विष विभूषण विश्वतोमुख सर्वतो रक्ष रक्ष मां ज्वल ज्वल महामृत्युमपमृत्युभयम् नाशय नाशय चोरभयमुत्सादयोत्सादय विषसर्पभयं शमय शमय चोरान् मारय मारय मम शमनुच्चाटयोच्चाटय त्रिशूलेन विदारय कुठारेण भिन्धि भिन्धि खड्गेन छिन्धि छिन्धि खट्वाङ्गेन विपोथय विपोथय मुसलेन निष्पेषय निष्पेषय बाणै संताडय संताडय रक्षांसि भीषय भीषय शेषभूतानि निद्रावय कूष्माण्डवेतालमारीच ब्रह्म राक्षसगणान् सन्त्रासय सन्त्रासय ममाभय कुरु कुरु वित्रस्तं मामाश्वासयाश्वासय नरकमहाभयान् मामुद्धर सञ्जीवय सञ्जीवय क्षुतृङ्गभ्यां मामाप्याय आप्याय दुःखातुरं मामानन्दयानन्दय शिवकवचेन मामाच्छादयाच्छादय मृत्युञ्जय त्र्यम्बक सदाशिव नमस्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते। ऋषभ उवाच इत्येतत्कवचं शैवं वरदं व्यावृतं मया सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं रहस्यं सर्वदेहिनां यः सदा धारयेन्मर्त्यः शैवं कवचमुत्तमं न तस्य जायते क्वापि भयं शम्भोरनुग्रहात् क्षीणायु अप्राप्तमृत्युर्वा महारोगहतोऽपि वा सद्यः सुखमवाप्नोति दीर्घमायुश्च विन्दति सर्वदारिद्र्यशमनं सौमङ्गल्यविवर्धनं यो धत्ते कवचं शैवं सदेवैरपि पूज्यते महापातकसङ्घातैर्मुच्यते चोपपातकैः देहान्ते मुक्तिमाप्नोति शिववर्मानुभावतः त्वमपि श्रद्धया वत्स शैवं कवचमुत्तमं धारयस्व मया दत्तं सद्यः श्रेयो यवाप्स्यसि सूत उवाच इत्युक्त्वा ऋषभो योगी तस्मै पार्थिवसूनवे ददौ शङ्खं महारावं खड्गं चारिनिषूदनं पुनश्च भस्म सम्मन्त्र्य तदङ्गं परितोऽस्पृशत् गजानां षट्सहस्रस्य द्विगुणस्य बलं ददौ भस्मप्रभावात् सम्प्राप्त बलैश्वर्यधृतिस्मृतिः स राजपुत्रः शुशुभे शरदर्क इव श्रिया तमाह प्राञ्जलिं भूयः स योगी नृपनन्दनम् एष खड्गो मया दत्तस्तपो मन्त्रानुभावितः शितधारमिमं खड्गं यस्मै दर्शयसे स्फुटं स सद्यो म्रियते शत्रुः साक्षान् मृत्युरपि स्वयम् अस्य शङ्खस्य निर्ह्लादं ये शृण्वन्ति तवाहिताः ते मूर्छिताः पतिष्यन्ति न्यस्तशस्त्राविचेतनाः खड्गशङ्खाविमौ दिव्यौ परसैन्यनिवासिनौ आत्मसैन्यस्य पक्षाणां शौर्यतेजो विवर्धनो एतयोश्च प्रभावेण शैवेन कवचेन च द्विषट्सहस्रनागानां बलेन महतापि च भस्मधारणसामर्थ्याच्छत्रुसैन्यं विजेष्यसि प्राप्य सिंहासनं पित्र्यं गोप्तासि पृथिवीमिमाम् इति भद्रायुषं सम्यगनुशास्य समातृकं ताभ्यां पूजितः सोऽथ योगी स्वैर्यगतिर्ययौ इति श्रीस्कन्दपुराणे एकाशीतिसाहस्र्यां तृतीये ब्रह्मोत्तरखण्डे अमोघशिवकवचं समाप्तम् साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ
Let's collectively put ourselves under the complete protection of the Lord Shiva and our Mother Parvati. Complete surrender at the lotus feet of the Lord Shiva in Sahasrara. May He protect us, all the yogis of the world, our families. May He destroy all negativity in us, around us, and all attacks against us. May He bless all humanity with awareness of the Spirit in the heart. May every single human being feel the light and the love of Sri Shiva in his heart and has a strong desire to become a yogi, to follow Vishva Nirmala Dharma. And may all the seekers of the world be protected and guided to the Vishva Nirmala Dharma Center all over the world. Namaskar with full heart gratitude and Kundalini.